Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israeli Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman asserts that he does not believe in a possibility of reaching a long-term ceasefire arrangement with Hamas, while stressing that dealing the internationally recognized Palestinian terror group with a hard blow would improve the security situation in southern Israel. Yossi Cohen, the director of the Mossad intelligence agency, warns that if the Islamic Republic of Iran is allowed to continue its policies, it would ultimately result in the annihilation of the Jewish state. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, together with his wife Sarah, warmly welcomed Chinese Vice President Wang Qishan, who arrived in Israel to take part in a China-Israel Joint Committee on Innovation Cooperation. Israeli Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman asserted that he does not believe in a possibility of reaching a long-term ceasefire arrangement with Hamas, while stressing that dealing the internationally recognized Palestinian terror group with a hard blow would improve the security situation in southern Israel. During a meeting of the Knesset's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee, the top Israeli defense official underscored that Jerusalem had exhausted all options vis-à-vis the Gaza Strip, forcing Israel to prepare for a military operation that will once and for all bring peace and security to the southern communities of Israel. Lieberman further explained that while the state of Israel does not have the luxury of conducting wars when there is an alternative, Jerusalem has reached a point in which it exhausted all options, and now a decision has to be made. Now to a conference of Israel's finance ministry, where Yossi Cohen, the director of the Mossad intelligence agency, announced that global threats in general and Iran's malign activities in particular have brought about a phenomenon in which countries are significantly boosting their spy agencies' capabilities.
בכל מקום שאליו אנחנו מגיעים, אנחנו צריכים לקחת בחשבון שירותי ביטחון שהולכים ומתעצמים. דרך אגב, לאו דווקא בהכרח החיפוש המיידי הוא אחר פעולות ריגול. אבל יש גם בתוך מדינות גדולות אחרות עיסוק רב והולך וגובר, חלקו דרך אגב כאמור בגלל ההוויה האיראנית, אבל אנחנו פוגשים את הארגונים האלה שהם גדולים, מתעצבים ומתחזקים, איש במדינתו, ארגון במדינתו, תופעה עולמית הולכת וגוברת.
The Mossad director further revealed that world powers have changed their attitude toward Israel and the Middle East at large, in which the West clearly differentiates between those it defines as good and bad, a change of policy that took effect since President Donald Trump took office in January of 2017.
הדבר הזה כמובן מושפע מאוד על ידי שינוי גישה ברמה מאוד גבוהה, שהיא מאוד נעימה לנו, לדעתי, כמדינת ישראל, מאז היכנסו של הנשיא טראמפ לשלטון. דבר ראשון, יש איזושהי תחושה, גם אצלי, שההבדלה בין הטובים לרעים נעשית בצורה יותר דיכוטומית, יותר פשוטה, יותר ברורה.
With regard to the growing security challenges posed to Israel by Iran, Director Cohen stressed that if the Islamic Republic is allowed to continue its policies, it would ultimately result in the annihilation of the Jewish state.
אחד האמריקאים שפגשתי לאחרונה אמר לי, מה יקרה if Iran will be defeated, אם אנחנו ננצח את איראן או משהו כזה? אמרתי לו, אם אנחנו ננצח את איראן, I may be jobless. אם איראן לא תנוצח, I may be homeless.
Because of the existential dangers of the Iranian threat, the Mossad director underlined his agency's focus remained to push Iran out of the Middle East, including all countries that border with the State of Israel. Now in other news, Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi announced that the Hashemite Kingdom had not received any official requests from Israel to renegotiate parts of the peace treaty between the two countries with regard to the leased border territories that are used by Israeli farmers for agricultural purposes. In an interview with a local Jordanian media outlet, Amman's top diplomat underscored that even if Israel was to submit a request, Jordan is determined to pull out of the annexes from the 1994 agreement, including the island of Peace in Naharaim and the Tzofar enclave in the Arava, which Israel leased from Jordan for the past 24 years. It is important to note that while the Hashemite monarch initially sought to extend the lease, a report in the Jordan Times revealed that the king's decision followed a request from anti-Israeli government activists who demanded not to renew the agreement and to revoke Israeli ownership from any Jordanian lands. The move, however, has implications for many Israeli farmers whom are concerned with losing their livelihood. While Jordan has legal grounds to move forward on its decision, Israeli farmers voiced optimism of reaching some kind of understanding.
קודם כל אני חושב שזאת תהיה טעות, אני חושב שצריך לשקול את זה היטב, ומבחינתנו כמובן כמגדלי חקלאות באזורים האלה ובפרט כאן בעיר שלום, אנחנו ניפגע מהמהלך הזה. יש לנו שנה ללמוד וגם לירדנים ללמוד את הנושא הזה. מקווה שנגיע לאיזושהי מתווה שיאפשר לנו להמשיך לגדל חקלאות.
Under the 1994 Treaty of Peace between Israel and Jordan, the two separate territories fell under Jordanian sovereignty with Israeli private land use rights. These rights include unimpeded freedom of entry to, exit from, and movement within the area. These areas are not subject to customs or immigration legislation. These rights, according to the peace treaty, were meant to remain in force for 25 years and were subject to be renewed automatically for the same period unless 1 year prior notice of termination is given by either party, in which case, at the request of either country, consultations shall be entered into. While officials in Jerusalem voiced optimism about reaching an agreement on the matter, Israeli Agriculture Minister Uri Ariel announced that he instructed the Director General of his ministry to prepare for a scenario in which the Jordanians would move forward with implementing their decision. Now to another matter, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, together with his wife Sarah, warmly welcomed Chinese Vice President Wang Qishan, who arrived in Israel yesterday to take part in a China-Israel Joint Committee on Innovation Cooperation. Netanyahu hailed the visit by the Chinese leader as a great compliment to the Jewish state that signifies the growing relations between the two countries.
The fact that the Vice President of China came to Israel to the invitation, my invitation for the Prime Minister's Innovation Conference, is a tremendous compliment to Israel and a reflection of the growing ties between China and Israel.
The bilateral relations between Jerusalem and Beijing have been tightening for the past few years, with an annual increase of more than 73% of exports from Israel to China, while Chinese investments in Israeli tech companies nearly doubled between 2013 and 2017. An expert on China-Israel relations told TV7 the fact that Vice President Qishan agreed to visit Israel, the highest-ranking Chinese official to do so, indicates Beijing's growing interest in the Jewish state. Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7israelnews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and its region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. Jonathan Hassan, have a Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.